There are a few luxury cars highly sought after by the affluent in society, one of which is the Rolls-Royce. What's special about this car is that if you want to purchase one, there won't be any fixed price given to you, as there are a few things that determine the final cost of your vehicle. The Rolls-Royce is an expensive car to own, and in this video, I'm going to tell you why the prices of these cars are over the roof most of the time. One of the options that makes the luxurious Rolls-Royce expensive is its color. Rolls-Royce doesn't play around when it comes to color selections for your car, as they have over 30,000 color choices available. If you have a particular look in mind, they will go to any length to get that color for you. When they don't have the color, they'll go the extra mile, mixing different shades until they get the exact color you want. This is one of the major reasons Rolls-Royce is so expensive. Not every car manufacturer will do this for you. You might go to a different state or country for an occasion and see a random color you're attracted to. If you meet with Rolls-Royce and mention that you want that color, and the color isn't in their color palette, they might send an expert to wherever you saw the color to try and reproduce it. As a client, you also have the right to cancel your order if the color doesn't meet your expectations for your car. Rolls-Royce will then cancel it, which also helps to explain their high sales price. Earlier in the video, we mentioned color as one of the factors that makes the Rolls-Royce so expensive. After color, the next thing that makes a Rolls-Royce expensive is the painting. At Rolls-Royce, they don't call it painting, but rather surface finish. When they paint cars, they take them to facilities called surface finish centers, where they apply no less than 5 layers of paint. This is very costly, depending on what the client wants. We know that some clients want something extremely glittering, and that takes money. A client once ordered that 23 layers of paint be applied for him. A special factor to note here is that a special paint color is named after the buyer for whom it was initially created. If another buyer later requests the same color, they will call the person who had the color first to seek their permission to use it again. This gives each owner a real sense of belonging and ownership. A client who is extremely wealthy and wants to have his car stand out might not want just a paint job, but might want to add special effects to his car surface, like crushed diamonds, crushed gold, or painting the entire car body in gold. This effect makes the body of the car glitter. Rolls-Royce sends the client to a trustworthy company that sells these precious rocks, be it gold or diamonds. And when it has been purchased, the client's car is given that special, unique look the client wants. The technician who completes this job isn't a painter, but a specialist, because it's delicate work and costs a huge sum to engage their services. Again, these are all the things that makes Rolls-Royce very expensive to purchase. The Rolls-Royce body needs detailing, and it's interesting to note that the company does all of its detailing by hand and not by machine. The company has just one individual who does this body detailing, and for him to do yours, he would have to conclude the one he has on his hands first. And he may bear in the back of his head that if he takes more time to do your car detailing, he can collect more money, making it more expensive for him to carry out this task. No matter your location, he will come to you. Rolls-Royce gives their clients first-class treatment, and everyone who buys one would attest to that. But all the process involved in this car production doesn't come easy. If you have ever ridden in a Rolls-Royce, or even just seen one, there's something that's extremely particular to the car, no matter the positioning of the car or how long it is driven. The RR emblem of the car steering is always upright, in the sense that it always is resting in that position. This is called the ability to self-right. Also called center wheel balancing, this technology takes a lot of money to install in each car. And we know the steering, just like every other part of the Rolls-Royce car, is manufactured with the best of materials, so as to prevent wear and tear. The ability for the car to self-right goes to show that they are really serious about giving their customers the very best. The dashboard of any car is one of the most visible parts of the auto interior, and that includes that of the Rolls-Royce. The dashboard of a Rolls-Royce usually costs a lot to make, from the materials down to the installation. But some Rolls-Royce owners go so far as customizing their dashboard. The dashboard is usually handcrafted by a professional, but when the client wants the dashboard to have a different look, they can experiment with other materials, such as wood, aluminum, foam, or purely artwork. The dashboard customizing usually costs a whole lot of money and is added to the overall cost of the car. If there's one thing Rolls-Royce does not tolerate, it is noise, so they leverage sound insulation. They want to create a car that will allow the occupants to drive without noticing noises, and is even quiet enough in which to make a phone call. They then come up with the perfect insulation for their interiors in the form of 300 pounds of insulation installed in the cabin of the Rolls-Royce. This doesn't come cheap, but it makes the car so silent you might hear a pin drop. Well, sarcastically speaking. This is another of the benefits of having the money to own a Rolls-Royce. You can get a soundproof car and be sure of having the perfect road experience wherever you are driving. The tires on the Rolls-Royce are another reason it is so expensive. The tires are very expensive to make and are manufactured by a continental company. In order to manufacture the tires, they fill them with foam after making the tires from a long-lasting rubber. The tires are very costly to make as they can only be produced by one company. The fact that the tires are foam-filled makes each very delicate and liable to shred at any time. Knowing how expensive the car is, we don't expect the tires to be cheap to replace, especially given you can only get a replacement from a continental company. Despite their cost, the tires are among the very best tires customized for a car, as they are almost soundless when in motion. We can't complete this list without mentioning one of the signatures of the Rolls-Royce, the Starlight Headliner. This is basically the impression of a night sky full of stars on the top of the roof. It is done by making tiny holes in the fabric of the car roof interior and then illuminating it, thereby giving it a night sky view. This feature can be removed if you don't like it, but most Rolls-Royce owners prefer it. You can also add your own star constellation arrangements to the mix if you choose to do so, but don't forget that comes at an extra cost. And if there is anything we have learned about Rolls-Royce, it's that extras don't come cheap. Over the years, Rolls-Royce has proven to be a high-end car, and most of the people who purchase it don't buy it for the speed, but mostly for the prestige that comes with owning this expensive but regal car. Rolls-Royce has definitely built a name for itself and is a brand people are sure to keep buying regardless of how much they cost.